Hello, and welcome to Senior Family Night. My name is Brian Glassberg. I'm the school counseling supervisor, and we're going to present to you some information tonight that you'll find useful to help guide your children through the college application process. Just so that you know, the school counselors will meet with the seniors in groups very soon in order to discuss the process in more detail. But please watch this video carefully because there are many changes based upon the current situation. So even if you've had a student come through our schools before, you'll want to watch this in order to understand the procedures. At the end, there'll be an opportunity for you to fill out a form so that you can ask follow-up questions and get additional help from your child's counselor. So thank you to all of the counselors that put this together. You'll be seeing each of them as we move through this presentation. I'd like to introduce you to our first counselor that you'll see tonight, Mr. Salme.
Hello JP family, I'm Mr. Salme. I'll be covering homerooms 12.1, 12.2, and 12.3.
Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Cardillo, and I am the school counselor for homerooms 12.4 and 12.5.
Hi, welcome to Senior Parent Night. I am Miss Shahida Hall. I am the counselor responsible for homerooms 12.6, homeroom 12.12, and homeroom 12.24.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Lisa Lynn. I'm the school counselor for homerooms 12.7, 12.8, and 12.9.
Hi, I'm Maria Randazza, and I'm the school counselor for homerooms 12.10 and 12.11.
Hi, I'm Kristen DeSimone. I'm the school counselor assigned to homerooms 12.13, 12.14, and 12.15.
Hi, my name is Elisa Rinaldi, and I am the school counselor for senior homerooms 12.16, 12.17, and 12.18.
Hi, senior parents. My name is Karen Kandari, and I'm the school counselor for homeroom sections 12.19, 12.20, and 12.21.
Hi there. My name is Stephen Miller, and I'm the school counselor for homerooms 12.22 with Ms. Casani and 12.23 with Mr. Marzano. Go Hawks!
Hi, I'm Sue Nadell. I'm one of the college counselors. I work with students whose homerooms end in an odd number. I'm really looking forward to spending this year working with students and their families as they figure out what they're going to do after they graduate.
Hi, I'm Ms. Silverberg, the college counselor for students in even ending homerooms. And now, Mr. Miller will start our presentation.
Senior year. Culmination of your education from kindergarten through high school. Stress. Stress everywhere. Don't worry, your counselors are here to help you get through it. This slide has questions that you will definitely have the answers to by the end of the presentation. Number 1. How many days are needed to process an application? Number 2. What does EA stand for? Number 3. When is the J.P. Stevens Financial Aid Night? Number 4. What application can be used to apply to over 900 colleges? Number 5. What on Naviance needs to be filled out in detail for the counselor to compose his or her letter of recommendation? Number 6. What needs to be completed in order for the counselor to send your child's college materials? Finally, number 7. When and how should the students ask a teacher for a letter of recommendation? Again, you will have the answers to all of these questions by the end of the presentation. It's your senior year, and the finish line is in sight. Now what? Well, it's important to stay organized. This will be covered further in the presentation. Also, it's really important to stay informed. That includes checking your email regularly and checking your counselor's Google Classroom. Also, click the link above to check the counseling website for updates on scholarship information, open houses, and other special opportunities. Finally, follow us on Twitter at JPS Counseling.
At this point in time, the students should be compiling a list of schools and colleges and their deadlines. They should also be noting which schools may need supplemental essays and recommendations, which could come from their counselor and or their teachers. In the spring, we did a junior Naviance presentation with the juniors, and in that presentation, we showed them a number of different spreadsheets that they could use in order to keep track and keep organized of all of their colleges and this extra information that comes from each school. Please note that every college asks for different things. One college may want a counselor recommendation and one teacher. Another college may want nothing from the counselor and 3 teacher recommendations. So it's really important to keep good track. The list should include safety schools, target schools, and reach schools. I'm going to get into that in a little more detail on the next slide. Detailed information on how to search for colleges was also provided in the Junior Naviance group presentations. So if you're still struggling with how to come up with a list, please look back at the presentation as well as reach out to your school counselor and your college counselor for help. Let's take a look at a sample student. This is a JP senior with unweighted GPA of a 3.35 and an SAT score of a 1250. What kind of schools would a student with these scores and this GPA apply to? If we look on this side, we see a list of types of schools. The first one is a dream school. We tell the kids that they are allowed to dream and dream big. However, this is a school that is most likely out of their academic reach. If they want to apply to one, just to do it and go for it, we recommend just picking one. We also recommend about 2 reach schools. These are the schools that are a little bit above the student's GPA range, as well as their SAT scores. In this case, with our sample student of having a 3.35 GPA, a reach school for them would be anywhere in the range of a 3.6 to a 3.7. Their SAT score, what the college is looking for, would be approximately 100 points higher combined than this sample student of a 1250. Then we like them to focus mainly on these last 2 areas. One is a target area and the other one are the safety schools. Here you can see we have 4 target schools that we recommend kids applying to. It doesn't mean they have to apply to 4. They can apply to more, and certainly they can apply to less. But we say about average of 4. So what is a target school? Well, we wish that we could predict where your child is going to get into college. That would make life a lot easier for all of us. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So a target school would be right in their range. So that would be a school for this sample student anywhere between a 3.3 and a 3.5 GPA. And the SAT score is approximately 50 points above the highest combined score. So we wouldn't go above 50 points, and certainly you can go a little bit below. The last area is the safety school area. We highly recommend all students have at least one safety school, if not more. A safety school is a school where the GPA range is below what the student has. So in this case, it's a 3.0 to a 3.2, which is clearly a little bit below this student's GPA of a 3.35. The SAT score range is approximately 50 points below the combined score. So in this case, again, the student had a 1250 combined. So a safety school would be a school that's about 50 points below that. The nice thing about safety schools is that many times they offer students money if they are above the range. Sometimes if they're way above the range, they're offered a little bit more money. So that's something to keep in mind. Over here, when you get the presentation, you can click on this link here, which will take you to fit and organizing your college list. This is a presentation that was given in the past, and it will a little bit expand on what we're talking about here about the types of schools.
Once your student has decided on the colleges that they're going to apply to, they need to put them into Naviance so that the counselors can send in their transcripts, recommendation letters, and any other information. So the first thing they need to do is go to the JPS website and click on the School Counseling Home tab. Once they're on that Home tab, on the right-hand side, they will see a link for Naviance. They should click on that link, and that will bring them to the sign-in page for Naviance. Once your student has decided the colleges they're going to apply to, and they've clicked on the counseling homepage and then the Naviance link, it brings them to this screen, which is the login screen. They put in their student ID, email address, their password, and they can click Remember Me so that the password will be saved in there. If they don't remember their password, they can click on the Forgot Your Password, and a temporary password will be emailed to them, and then they can go in and change the password. Now that your student has logged into Naviance, they are going to build their list of the colleges they're going to be applying to. So on the top of the screen, you'll see with the first arrow, it says colleges. They're going to click on that, and they're going to go down to colleges I'm applying to. If they had colleges in their previous colleges I'm thinking about, they can move them over to the colleges I'm applying to list, or they can just start to build a new list in the colleges I'm applying to.
Hello again, it's Mr. Salme. So now that you've created and finalized your list of colleges, it's important for you to review the testing policies for each school. If the school is test optional, decide if you want to send your scores. So what is a test optional college? Essentially, it's the college giving the student the choice to submit their scores or not to submit their scores. It's entirely up to the student. If you choose to send your scores, you must do so by logging on to collegeboard.org for the SAT or to actstudent.org for the ACT. It is the student's responsibility to release these scores directly to the colleges. In addition, many schools do allow students to self-report their test scores on their application, so please make sure that you check with the schools that you're applying to. The Common Application is a tool that allows students to apply to multiple colleges by using only one site or only one application. So please check your list of colleges. If there are 2 or more schools that actually use the Common Application, we highly recommend that you create a Common App account. Over 900 colleges and universities use the Common Application. One application for these schools. It's also important that you check the supplements and you adhere to the college's deadline, as deadlines and supplements may differ from college to college. The Coalition application is very similar to the Common Application. It serves over 150 colleges and universities. If the University of Washington is on your list of colleges, then you must create a Coalition account. If the University of Washington is not on your college list, then you do not need to create a Coalition account. I'm going to pass it on now to Ms. Lynn.
So now you have a college list. The next thing that you will need to decide is when you would like to apply for the colleges. So there's usually about 2 major groupings of due dates. One is what we call the early action, early decision grouping, and one is like the regular action decision making. So the difference here is this. If you apply early, usually it's about a November 1st deadline. It means you will submit your application by that early deadline determined by the individual college, and by submitting your application early, the college will allow you to find out what their decision on your child is early, and that's usually in December or January. So within that, there's early action and there's early decision. Now, those are 2 different things, and I kind of like to liken it as dating versus marriage. Early action, you apply early, you get a decision back, but the decision that you get back from the college is not binding. Meaning if your child applied early to this school and they get accepted, they do not absolutely have to go. Early decision, however, is more like a marriage. You're committing to it. You're saying that if I get accepted into this school, then I most definitely will go to this school. So you will apply by the early deadline decision. And then as you apply, you will hear back early. And then once you get in, you are done with the admissions process because you have committed. Just like in a marriage, you have committed, you're done. The regular decision process is usually a later date. For colleges, it could be somewhere in January, and then you would hear sometime usually around March. And then there's another option called a rolling admissions option. And what that means is colleges will offer a certain amount of seats. For instance, it could be 500 seats for the incoming class, and they start their application date. Once they open it and their 500 seats are filled, whatever date that is, they will close the date. So in general, for rolling admissions, you would want to apply earlier rather than later as well. Here in our chart, the way they've described it is restrictive action applications versus non-restrictive. So in the non-restrictive, that's the dating part. There's the regular decision, there's the rolling admissions, there's the early action. And in the restrictive part, that's the commitment. If you get a decision, it's possible that you will be there. Early decision is exactly that. You apply early, you get accepted early, you're done with the admissions process. Restrictive early action is a little bit different because it's an action, not a decision, this second letter here. It means it's not a commitment to go to the college. However, with restrictive early action, the institution is usually saying if you apply to our school, you cannot also apply early decision anywhere else, or restrictive early action or early action to any other school. So in essence, they're saying that you're only allowed to apply to their one school. So it is a little bit confusing, but this is a great chart. You should definitely take a moment to read it through it. So what exactly will we as your school counselor be doing for your child's application? I just want to emphasize before I even tell you what we do, the important thing for you to know is as the school counselor, we can send out all of the following information that I'm going to tell you, all these pieces, before your child actually completes his or her application. Our part is independent of your child's part. So what exactly are we responsible for doing? What we will send out is the official school transcript. That is a record of the final grades from every school year that your child has been in high school, including their senior year, not the grades, but their senior year, the classes that they are currently enrolled in. We will also write and send the counselor a letter of recommendation if needed. So we did put this hyperlink here. If you click on it, we do have a listing of many colleges that do not and do not want the counselor letter of recommendation. So that's something to keep in mind. If your child does not need a counselor letter of recommendation, then that will actually make it a bit easier for the counselor. We will also send the school profile. The school profile basically is a listing of our academics, of what our school is about, and it will also include in the back of our school profile a graph that will indicate the GPA distribution of our students, since our school does not rank. And we will also send any other needed information to colleges as is requested by the colleges or as the student needs us to do. Now, what does your child need to do for us to get this whole process rolling? He needs to, or she needs to go to his or her Google Classroom for the homeroom. So every counselor has created a Google Classroom. They've been using it since freshman year. In this Google Classroom, they're going to find something under assignments that will be called a senior application packet. We're calling that the SAP. They will need to complete the SAP by uploading their transcript release form and activity sheet. And again, this is a link that will bring you to our website where if you click on the forms, you will be able to see the forms and you can download your own copy and print it out and do whatever it is that you need to. And we will also ask for rave sheets if needed. Again, the rave sheet is only needed if we need a counselor to write a letter of recommendation for your child. So if your counselor needs to write one, then you will need to go into Naviance and complete the rave sheet. Note, again, You only need a letter of recommendation from your counselor if you are applying to a school that needs it. So schools such as Rutgers, Middle State County College, Penn State, they do not want letters of recommendation, and there is no place for you to attach it. And if you are only applying to those particular schools or any other schools that don't need it, then you do not need to do the rave sheet. Then you go ahead and you would complete the SAP, and it would direct you as to what you need to do in there by completing it. However, if you do find that you do need a letter of recommendation from your counselor, then you and your child should go into their Naviance account. Your child will go in and complete the senior rave sheet, and you will go in and complete the parent rave sheet. Then after that's done, they will go back into their Google Classroom and complete the SAP. School counselors, we will be going over the SAP with the students, with your child, next week on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We will go over in detail the process that they need to do. If you click on this link right here, it will also bring you to a fall senior checklist, and this fall senior checklist is very detailed with hyperlinks, and we will go through that with your child next week so that they know what they need to do. And as we go through it, rest assured, they will be okay, and you will be okay.
So continuing with our presentation, next important piece of information is our senior parent rave sheets. So you're going to go into Naviance. You're going to go to the About Me section right here where my cursor is. You're going to click on My Surveys, and you're going to fill out that rave sheet. This will enable teachers and your counselors to write those recommendations, which reflect all the great things you've done here during your time at J.P. Stevens. So, another big important question: how much time does my school counselor need in order to process my application? Minimum of 15 school days. That's school days. Doesn't include weekends. Doesn't include vacations. So make sure you understand to get your materials into your counselor at least 15 school days prior to your application deadline. Now, teacher recommendations. So you do not need a recommendation letter for Rutgers, Middlesex County College, or Penn State. There's also a couple others that are listed earlier in the presentation. How do I do that, you ask? Well, make sure you ask your teacher over email because we're not in school. Make sure to complete and send them the teacher recommendation request form. That is right there. All you need to do is click on this and it'll come up, and they'll be able to see that, and you'll send it to them. Some teachers may require additional information. Make sure you understand that 3 to 5 day leeway so that your teachers can work on the recommendation. They're not going to be able to turn it around in a day or a few hours, so please be patient with them. If they do need more information, send them everything that they need. Finally, you must add the teacher to your Naviance account. Here's how to do that. If you do not add them to their Naviance account, they won't be getting that information that they need. So you're going to go to college, applying to college, and then letters of recommendation. And it's a pretty simple process. Okay, so again, make sure that you're being patient with your teachers as they get to your recommendations.
This fall, all of our college visits will be virtual, just like they were last spring. College visits will begin on September 29th, and visits will occur after classes have concluded, starting at 2 p.m. There will be 2 blocks of time for visits. There will be a 2 o'clock block and a 3 o'clock block, with multiple visits during those times. Students must sign up in Naviance at least 1 school day in advance of the visit in order to receive the link to log in to the visit. As of now, there are over 100 colleges that have signed up for visits with John P. Stevens students, with more signing up every day. So you want to check back often. And as a matter of fact, there are a number of schools that have never visited JP before that are coming this year. So how do you sign up? Well, you go into your Naviance account and log in. You click on the Colleges tab on the upper right-hand side. Then you click on College Visits, and a list in chronological order of the dates of the visits will appear. You click on Register Now, and you're all registered. Now, the reason why you have to register one day in advance of the school day in advance specifically is that you will receive the link for the visit in an email. So you need to register ahead of time in order to receive that link. If you want to log into the visit, it will open up approximately 15 minutes prior to the visit. So again, visits start on the 29th. You must register at least a day in advance in order to receive the link to attend the visit, and check back often because there are new schools and more schools signing up every day. Hope to see you at the visits.
Along with our team of school counselors, we're lucky at JP Stevens to have 2 college counselors to guide students and families through the process of college admissions. I like to give the analogy that college counselors and school counselors work hand in hand, similar to a bus counselor and a bus driver. Your child's school counselor is the bus driver. They guide every aspect of the college process in terms of submitting applications, writing your child's recommendation letter. They also get to know your child best from the past 3 years. College counselors give that additional layer of support, similar to a bus counselor. We're here if there are any bumps in the road to make sure everybody gets where they need to go in a happy, healthy way. Some of the services college counselors provide are assistance with preparing your college list, understanding safe, target, and reach schools, and we're also able to make recommendations of schools based on location and choice of major. We provide assistance with technology, any questions related to the Common App and Naviance. We spend a lot of time in the fall working with students on their college essays. If you need assistance preparing or brainstorming your essay, if you have a draft you'd like someone to take a look at, or if you have specific questions or short answer questions for our college that you need help with, contact your college counselor and we'd be happy to review it. We also help families with the financial aid process and understanding scholarship resources. Lastly, we provide information on college-related events. Everything from virtual information sessions, college fairs, to open houses. Contact your college counselor and we'll be able to help. To schedule an appointment with a college counselor, all you have to do is reach out to them via email. Our contact information is located within this presentation, and you can also find it on the JP Stevens Counseling website.
Things to keep in mind as we enter this new journey, this college application process. We do not rank students. No way. We do not rank students at JP Stevens. The magic number is 15, 15, 15. This is the minimum amount of school days that counselors need in order to process an application. Please, 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 please make sure that all materials are submitted to your counselor in your homeroom Google Classroom assignment in a timely manner. This will give us enough time to process your application. There are a lot of you and not a lot of us, so please adhere to this number, 15 school days, and that means the days that we are in school or the days that we have school now that we're virtual. Also, social media. Please keep in mind, keep it clean on social media, on your Instagram, on your Snapchat, on your Facebook, and on your Twitter. Colleges may check, and this could get you in some serious trouble. This could allow the schools to take back their admissions decision. So we want to make sure that we are being clean on social media. Students should also use professional email addresses. So that would mean your first name and your last name, your first name, anything that's professional. Something like Big Cat 2020 will not be professional, so let's keep that clean as well. Use your first name and your last name for your professional emails. One thing to keep in mind as well is virtual college admissions visits are scheduled for 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Students should sign up in Naviance for the visit link. Again, counselors will begin meeting with seniors this week, okay? This week, we will be meeting with you. Seniors, please check your homeroom Google Classroom for the time and the link. You should have it already. Financial aid night will be held Thursday, September 24th. Please make sure that you make it to this night. You will get all of your questions answered about financial aid. The FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid, opens up October 1st. So you will get this information right before that application opens up. Also upcoming is the NACAC Virtual College Fair. This is another college fair that you guys can get involved in. There will be more than 600 colleges and universities participating. Woohoo! That's a lot. So Monday, October 12th, Sunday, October 18th, and Sunday, November 8th. You can register at the link below.
So parents, are you smarter than a high school senior? How many days are needed to process an application? 15 school days. Number 2, what does EA stand for? Early action. Number 3, when is the JPS financial aid night? Thursday, September 24th. What application can be used to apply to over 900 colleges? Common application. Number 5, what on Naviance needs to be filled out in detail for the counselor to compose his or her letter of recommendation? We need the student rave sheet, and we need the parent rave sheet. Number 6, what needs to be completed in order for the counselor to send your child's college materials? We need the senior application packet, SAP, in the homeroom Google Classroom. And number 7, when and how should the student ask a teacher for a letter of recommendation? Now and through email.
Many of our students and parents can feel very stressed or anxious during this time. Take a deep breath. We want you to remember there is a place for everyone. There are great colleges for all students. It does not matter if you are an honors, AP, accelerated, or academic level student, there is a place for you. Finding the right college fit for you is key. It's not all about the name or the ranking assigned by some company. Successful people come from different colleges, universities, trade schools, and certification programs. Many of the top executives from successful companies graduated from colleges most of us have never heard of. So relax, you will find the right fit. The keys to success. Number 1, be organized. Very important. Number 2, get your applications in on time. I say if there's a deadline due October 30th, get it in by October 20th. Early is better. Get some sleep. Rest and sleep is most important during this stressful time. And of course, breathe. Take a deep breath. We got this. Here are some helpful websites. Probably one of the most helpful websites is our JP Stevens counseling website. We update it weekly with scholarship information, college visits, and a lot of different information that you may need to know. So check it weekly. If you're still looking to finalize your college list, here are some great college search engines for you. And here is a scholarship website for you as well, Big Future through the College Board. Great scholarship website.
As we come to the end of our presentation, we want to remind you, you've got this. We're in this together. We're here to help you each and every step of the way. If you have any questions or feedback, fill out this form so we can better assist you. Good luck and best wishes to our JPS class of 2021.
We hope you enjoyed Senior Family Night. Look forward to additional presentations from our department coming soon, including our financial aid night. If you need help or have any questions in addition to the link that you were previously told about, you could also take out your phones now and scan this QR code, and we will be sure to get back to you very soon. Thank you and good night.